Hmm. I was going to pause the camera. I mean, pause the C64 music. It was getting to me anyway. So yeah, let me know if you guys are joining up or what's going on. I'm working on an assembly language, the same one you've seen on my channel for the pixel scrolling. Trying to get some animation going with it and see what else we can kind of come up with for it using C64 Studio. Um, so far, I can't tell if anybody's here. I keep checking. I think Google needs to come up with something to kind of alert us when people are trying to reach us or something. That would probably be a little bit more helpful. If they do, I don't know. I haven't used it long enough to really know. It'd be nice if they had something to kind of say, hey, this guy's having trouble getting in, or this guy's having trouble, click a button and get help from Google. Kind of some of the improvements they could do with it, I think. Yeah, let me see what's going on here for a minute. All right, let's see. I can't tell. It says 4 people watching. I see these 4 people are here, but I don't see them in here anywhere. These 2 said maybe. These haven't responded. I'm going to message a bunch of them. Let's join Hangout. I'm already there. Who's all here? Okay, let's figure out how to email this guy. Okay, let's try here we go. Hmm. Okay, I'm turning off the music. Can you still hear me, Matt? I'll just watch the chat, I guess. Okay, so you were asking me what I was doing and explain what I'm doing. First of all, I don't know if you've seen what I've started with this. Let me just run the program to kind of give you an idea. I think I already have it running here. Let's see. Oh no, I got it here. I need to get rid of this real quick. See, I don't need this line right here. Sorry about that. So let me run it. Can you see that? It's a little demo that I created. It was originally came from another game that I wrote back in probably like 80s and 90s on my channel there called Spaced Out. Let me kind of give you a quick rundown of where that's at. Oh, that's right. You're only seeing my studio. Let me kind of get the whole screen going here. It's going to switch over to me for a second. I hate when it does that. I wish we had more control over that. Once you click on share, it goes right back to the camera. Let's see if I just do full screen. Maybe that'll be good. Okay, does that full screen look better? Can you see everything now? Okay, so what I wanted to do is first I wanted to kind of explain where this all came from, to kind of give you, kind of fill in the blanks for you here. And this is the website where I put everything up. Also, if you're into Commodore 64, you may want to check out this page right here. It took me like almost a month to build this, but it's got tons and tons of programs here. There's probably a good 200 different types of programs. And you can just click on the links here, and it'll take you right to that section, and you can see the picture, and of course you can see the code. So you can also go over here at the top here, right here, and you can navigate them by games, graphics, demos, utilities, machine language, sound, blah, blah, blah. And I'm probably going to add one here later for emulators or something, I don't know. But anyway, what I wanted to show you was where it all began, and this is the main page. So right here, this is the game that I started with. Right here, you see this? This was an actual live game. You can go to the video here. I could probably play this. I don't think there's any music in it. You can kind of see it here. I'll show it to you. The original demo I created a while back. Oh, I didn't know that about the ebook. I'll have to check that. Well, and type in and I can talk to you. I'll check on that for you later. Yeah, I noticed when I went to check it today that the ebook wasn't working. I've been busy working on other things. I haven't had time to get to it. But yeah, you can kind of see this is the demo game here. If you want to see it there. It's kind of a smaller screen. If you go to the website yourself, you can kind of see it better, but it's kind of a smaller screen here. But anyways, this is all the code for it right here. And what I did is I've taken this new game and I've taken a lot of these examples in here, including some others I've got from some other people. Last year I worked with a really cool guy on here. He's hardcore C64 all the way, and he wrote like a real-time scroller. And my dream is to create a full scrolling game, but it's harder than it looks actually. So, but anyways, this is where it all began, you know, with the whole section. And this is what it's evolved into for now. So if I move like the gamepad here, you can kind of see it moving. I want to get the water moving by itself, but I haven't got that going yet. You can kind of see, can you see how it's probably hard to see it on the screen there, but I noticed when I look at the Google Hangouts, it goes like really slow, but it's actually fine scrolling right now. You can't really see it, but anyway. But that's the game, and then what we're going to try to do is I've been adding some things in here, like the water. This is a mistake earlier. I was trying to fill the screen, and I need to get rid of this fill, so I'm just going to erase it right now. It's down here. So that should get rid of that. Graphics is your weakness. I mean, we all learn from somewhere, you know. I mean, it doesn't really have to be like a super graphics type program. I've seen people who don't even know how to write graphics, and there was one I saw many years ago. It was like stick figures. It was written in QBasic, but it was hardcore program. I mean, even though there were stick figures for fighting, it was a lot of fun. It was like a kung fu kind of thing. So it doesn't, I mean, doesn't really matter. I mean, as long as you can get the idea of making something to capture people's attention, that's what I've learned. Graphics is necessary, and a lot of these days you can capture a lot of graphics, and I'll show you a quick thing here. Where is it at? I don't know why I didn't put a hard link on it. It's called Character Editor. I'm going to look it up real quick. I have a good idea. I think it's right in here. I think. Oh, I just had it. It's right in here, I think. It's... Where did I put it? I don't think it's in here. I think it's in sprites. No? Well, maybe it's right here in Cbook. Let me see. Okay, why isn't that working? Okay, so it's right here. It's called Character Pad. I'll open this. Have you ever seen Character Pad? Or CarePad? What do they call it? Chartpad? Have you ever seen this? You can go in here and you can create, actually, I already have this one open, so you can take these and you can include them in your game. Actually, this is probably not the one I wanted, but I'll just show you like an example. And then you go here to map, and this is, you ever seen the game Commando? This is the actual graphics for the game. But anyways, you can go here and you can extract these and you can steal these right here. All you have to do is code these into your program, and you can actually steal the code. If I wanted to, I could reproduce this entire thing, you know. Matter of fact, you don't even need to do that. What actually is really cool about C64 Studio is you can actually embed all this directly into the program. Now, I don't have anything running here to show you right now. I'll show you an example of that guy I met last year. Or 2 years ago. That showed me his we created the scroller program together. Well, he originally created it, and I just kind of assisted him with a little bit of help here and there. But we worked on the Find Scroller. Oh, where is it at? I'm trying to remember. File right here. It's called Red Devil was the name of this game, and it's right here. Red Devil 2, I think this is the one. I think this one works. Just to make sure you're still there. Are you still there? Okay. Which program? Oh, the graphics editor? Probably their website. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. I don't have it memorized. You can just go to Google and type it in. You just type in Chartpad, it'll probably get it. Or maybe just Chartpad download or something like that. I think that's it. Somebody gave it to me, so I didn't really download it, but I think this is right here. This is it. You can download it right here. So you see, you can make like Nintendo style games, and I mean, this thing is just, it goes on and on. I need to learn how to use it a little bit more, because I still kind of do my stuff the old-fashioned way and still use a lot of data statements. But he actually used Chartpad, and he used another map editor, and watch what he did here. He created his own. I can get this thing to load. Actually, this is probably the wrong one. Let me do the other one. I had one that worked and one that didn't work, so I think it's the other one. This one right here. Why is this thing ain't loading? Probably because I already have mine loading here somewhere. Let me just shut down some of these other ones. I got too many of them running here. Oh, I'm already using it, right, aren't I? I know what it is. I'm trying to open the file directly. I shouldn't have done that. It should go right to the project. If you try to open up a file, you can't, and I explained this on my website, you can't run it that way. You have to actually open up the actual project, which I think it's this one. And then you just go right here. Here it is. Now it should run. Just right at the bottom there somewhere. There it is. See it? I'll move it up and enlarge it here. Well, I went in and I changed some of the graphics on it. So let me put it back the way he had it so you can see what it really looks like. I was trying to use my own here, I created my own raw files and I was trying to get it to work. So I'm just going to copy this data over here so I can kind of save what I got over here. I got 2 character set. I think that's it. And I'm going to switch this back to what he had. Let me look it up real quick. I should have just copied it, or I should have did. So it's tile set. So you got tile set, level 1 character set, raw. Bear with me a second. I'll show you what I'm going to do here. I'm just going to switch it over here. Get this. So tile set, level 1 character set, raw. That should do it. There it is. Looks better, huh? So this is the graphics editor or graphics program he created. Now, watch this. This is how much this guy really pushed his I like to say his skills to the next level. It's a scrolling editor. So I added some stuff in here. I need to kind of fix this. You see these little dots? This is just something I added into it recently, so I'll fix that. But it's actually, it scrolls. And it also scrolls up and down. But the problem is when you try to scroll it back, it loses the placement every time. And the reason why is because when you scroll something, you have to recall each corner. So each corner you're keeping track of when you're scrolling. If you're not keeping track of the corners, you just kind of repeat what's already on the screen. Hopefully it doesn't make it too complicated. But for example, if you're scrolling over this way, to get this data to continue to scroll, what you do is you draw in the new data here. You scroll it and you redraw it here, draw it here, and then that's what allows scrolling to happen. So, but anyways, that's the idea of where it all came from. And he used this character pad to draw his graphics. And the sprite editor or tile editor he worked on, I think it's right here. Yep, it is pretty cool stuff. I mean, he actually had an entire game that he was building on his channel for it, but I was hoping to see him. His name is Bo, but I haven't heard from him in a while because I kind of fortunately took a break, a long recess of about a year, and I guess people kind of gave up and went their own way at that point. That was all my fault. I just, had other things to do. I got too busy. But anyways, so this is the character pad, and I'm trying to remember where the tile editor went to. Let me see here. Maybe I can find it in here. Let me just go. I think it's in here. If I go here, I might be able to find it. Chart pad right there. Well, I don't remember where I put it. Let's see. For studio. I don't remember what it was called. The sprite editor that we wrote. I can just think of the name of it right now. I was going to show you the sprite editor because you said that you're not really good with graphics, but the sprite editor allows you to create your own sprites. I can't remember where it's at. Let me just go back to my website here for a minute and see if I can find it. It's in a Google Hangouts that I created a while back. Now if I could just remember where I put it. Where is Simulator language? Oh, if you want to learn about C64 Studio, here's a new a demo I put together, kind of an overview of how to write your first program and get it running. And I built this one today, C64 Studio. But anyway, I'm trying to find this other sprite editor. I'm going to have to go through some of my videos. All my YouTube videos for C64, they're all on my website. I don't know why I clicked on it. It didn't go anywhere. Oh, that's right, because these are broken down. So games, demos. I don't know. I'm trying to remember where. my Google Hangout page went to. Let me just look on this page real quick. I often promote stuff on the main page here, so I might have stuck it in here somewhere. Let's see. Do you build websites at all? Cool. I have to see what you got going on. Also, if you have a YouTube channel and you want to promote it, like if you have any C64 stuff or kind of basic stuff, I have a page here I created. You might have seen this already for YouTube projects. I added somebody new here recently. Here, this guy was added. I'll take your channel if you have enough stuff going on, like C64 or Atari or just something kind of in that category, and promote it here. Here's one we did for Java, for a guy who was doing Java. That's when I started doing my Java. And I'm still working on that kind of on the side, but a lot of people don't like Java, so I'm going to move that to another channel. Okay, so trying to figure out where I put this. I probably need to build in this website like a search option where I could search, or maybe even like a sitemap. I think people said that's a good idea. So you don't have a camera or a microphone, right? You can't talk? Let me see what you wrote here. Oh, you work in marketing. Your headset died yesterday. Oh, that's no fun. I can remember the days before we even when we had the internet, but we didn't have like where you could talk over the internet and stuff like that, and just a lot of chat. I used to use one called Merc. I don't know if how far back you go. Do you remember Merc? It was an IRC chat channel. Pretty popular. I used to go on there and I used to bug people about how to write certain code and stuff like that back in the days, and those were fun days. Recently, though, I didn't announce this, but I found a really cool website. It's a really cool, I mean, it's actually, I think it's a Google Hangout. Let me see if I still have it up here. Might be here somewhere. Right here. And there's a lot of stuff going on this Google Plus page. I posted one thing, and all of a sudden I had like 5 or 6 different people contacted me in seconds. So I know this is getting a lot of activity going on, and they sell stuff. They have, I mean, there's so much. I would dream to have a channel like this, but they do so much thing on this. Shows games, shows reviews, everything. So my goal is to connect with bigger people like this and try to, build that connection and networking to everybody else, If I had my own way, I'd like to be able to sit home and just write Commodore 64 programs or other stuff and just, tremendously build my website over time. But anyway, getting off on a little tangent. So I wanted to try to find that Google page, and I just realized I cannot figure out where I put it. I think it's called Google Hangouts. I'm going to cheat here a little bit. I'm going to go right into my FTP program to try to see if I can locate what it might have been called. I lost my connection to the server. So these are all the, I don't know, you probably know what this is. Market for C64, but some people are stuck in developing mobile apps. Yeah, mobile apps for C64? Is there? Oh, you gotta tell me about that one. I haven't even had time to get into that stuff, but that would be awesome. Oh, just regular apps. So there's C64 apps. You better let me know about it, because I'll be on it. Anyways, I'm trying to figure out where this page is. It's not promotions. These are all the names. These are where I store all of my website files here. So this right here is most of the pages I have on my website. So if I can find something for Google in here, I'll probably figure out where it is. There's the Atari stuff. C64 basic programming. Did I name it? I know I named it something. We'll get back to the stuff in a minute. I'm just trying to locate this. Where I put this Google Hangouts page. I don't think it's promotions. I keep seeing that one. Website design, YouTube projects. Okay, so I know where they're stored here on my file, on my folder, on my computer. I'm going to go here and see if I can find it here. I don't know why it didn't show up there. 7G maybe. I'm pretty sure I called it Google Hangouts. Many times I uploaded that file, now I can't think of the name of it. But what I'm trying to do is find that Google Hangouts. It's an entire page I built for Google Hangouts, but I'm beginning to think it wasn't a Google Hangouts page. Game development. Something with C64. Oh wait, I have a C64 folder too. Ah, there it is, C64 Google Hangouts. This is it. So now all I have to do is go C64 Google Hangouts, and I should have it up. This took a little bit of work. There it is. So, what was the name of this thing that I couldn't think of? SpritePad. That's funny. I was like looking for a pad, and I hear I was playing with character pad. You think one more word I could have got it, but anyway. So SpritePad, you can see from this example here, you can create actual graphics on it. Now I'm going to try to locate mine. You know what? The fact that you said that about notes, I think that's cool that you're doing that. One of the things I'd like to be able to try to do, I did it with this section. I need to be a little bit more consistent, is try to, like, if I make a video, when I'm done, to try to put that into a web page and explain what the video is about. Because a lot of people, you know, don't have time to watch a video. So I don't know about you, but, you know, I'm working full-time job, and it's really tough to really get that stuff in sometimes, you know. But this one, anyway, was when we were building Interrupt. I was working on an Interrupt program, and one of the guys on there was showing us how to use a Blitz compiler to take a C64 and turn it into speed up the programs. And I kind of explained some of that stuff. And here's the Google Hangouts video, if you want to watch that sometime. If you go to my page 2 and you go to the playlist and just type in Google Hangouts, you'll see a bunch of them there too. If you want to learn from them, they're kind of long though, so I don't know where your direction is. But this website will help you find, hopefully, the direction you need to go. As I get more time, I'll try to start putting, you know, more real programs. Like, I realize a lot of people, probably like yourself, want to learn the assembly language, you know. So, anyways, let's find this SpritePad. It's right here. My computer takes a while to find things sometimes. Offering C64 programming. And people wouldn't buy it or anything. I just give away most of my knowledge. I learned the secret is not to sell stuff so quickly, but rather to build traffic or people who keep coming back to what you have to say. That's the key to any success. It took me a long time to really understand that. It's all about reaching people and connecting with them more than it's about trying to say, hey, I'd like to start selling you how to write computer programs. I believe in giving it away because that'll just draw more people. And it's kind of the secret to anything you do in life. So, anyways, I'm going to show you a stupid little sprite that we worked on when I was there, when we was in a Google Hangout. This one you saw earlier on my website. So you can take this and you can draw on it by clicking on these here. Oh, actually that's the multicolor. I got the multicolor set. Yeah, I just screwed him up. So here you can go in and this changes the multicolor. So if you change this, it's going to change all the green. This will change any of the red you have in here. Or change it to red. Or change it to yellow. And if you go over here, you can kind of just draw whatever you want to draw. And how do you clear it? I think it's this one. Oh no, this is, yeah, that. So what it does is each time you draw, see up here, it'll keep track. If you move like here, this is how you can draw them side by side. So if I wanted to, I think there's a way to copy this. Maybe I just copy, maybe that's it. Maybe I just go here and I can paste it in. Yeah, that'll paste like another sprite there for you. And I'm trying to figure out how to get this. Oops. I'm just going to reload them. Yeah, C64 programming offering courses would be a great way to really reach people. I agree with that. The hard part for me, I mean, is trying to connect with people and finding out, like you said, when your time zone is. Because most of the people that I know that visit my channel are actually overseas. So when I'm in bed, I don't know, they're online, I guess. You know, it's hard to connect with them. But the one I worked with last year, he was in the U.S. like yourself, and it was easier to connect with him. Okay, so anyways, I wanted to show you. So if you go here, you can copy this. Go over here, you can paste it. And then what you can do here is you can go in here and you can kind of draw something side by side and kind of get a little animation going on. I don't know if I'm shooting out of his mouth or something there. Oh. Oh. I realize it because I keep clicking on this multicolor. That's what this is the sprite color. There we go. So if you click on the green, I see what's going on. If I click on that, it's going to turn it red. That just changes the sprite color. These are the multicolors. So you have to click on the multicolor to get the multicolor in. So I can go here. The quantity of the blocks. Not sure I understand what you're talking about. For this example, you mean? Right, in this window right here, right? Where the sprite is? The only window is this one. "32 blocks." A sprite is 62. 0 to 62, so it's actually 63. You mean there's 32 of these is what you're counting? Oh, so are you counting all of these? Yeah, the option in the settings to change the quantity of blocks. Are you pretty familiar with SpritePad? Because like I said, I don't use it much. Oh, are you looking at it right now on your computer? Oh, okay. I was just trying to figure out, like, because there's like no settings here. I was trying to figure out where you were getting settings from. The option in the settings to change the quantity of blocks. Look to the right of show grid lines on your main window. Let me actually get this out of the way. Get this out of the way. You're talking about right here. So you can add more. When you're saying, does that speed up the animation? I don't know. That wouldn't have anything to do with the speed, though. This is just drawing in each individual sprite. I never tried that. To make a bigger sprite, I just actually just increase the size of the sprite. You can change the width of the sprite and the height of the sprite with certain controls. Actually, now that we're talking about that, I could show you real quick in program. Yeah, you can create really cool animations. Watch this. You could also, I'm just going to copy this one I just created here. And just paste it a new one here. You can also go in here and you can rotate it. You like rotate it like the opposite direction from where it is. Let's see, that'd be 180 degrees. Let's see, number of angles. I'm not a mathematician here. Let me see. Place this frame in the copy buffer sequence in the sprite. I don't know what that's. I guess. Oh, this is how you do it. You just move this thing, and you can make it like upside down or something. You make an animation like that, and you could save the frames. And you hit OK now. Now we should have our new one, and we don't. I probably forgot to do something. I'm trying to figure out why I didn't save it. Place this copy in this frame at the current sprite. Okay, let's make it like he's falling or something. Sequence at the current sprite. Oh, there it is. See, now it added them. Oh, look at that. It actually took everything I used and animated it. There's like an animation like he's falling right there. Kind of cool, huh? And then once you have your sprite, you can actually go in here, you can save it. And you saw that chicken earlier. I'm just going to rename this to chicken 2 or something. Now we have a chicken 2 that we can actually use directly in our program. But I haven't I didn't spend enough time with it to really get it figured out yet. But it's my goal eventually to start using this instead of trying to build my own stuff all the time. Here's an animator. Shift. First select the range and using the shift and mouse button. Let's see here. Let's just see if we can animate this whole guy. Shift and the mouse button. I can animate. I just have to start with that one. Let's see if we can make them kind of animate. See what happens here. Start frame, end frame, fastest. Let's see what happens. I have no idea what it did. Oh, it's a play button. I think that's it. There it goes. Look at that. You could control the speed of them too. Fastest or slow them down. There you can kind of see them now. Can you see that? That's pretty cool, ain't it? I mean, you can't beat that for anything. And it's just cycling through those frames right there. So then when you're done with that, you could actually embed that into your program and just, what you do is you actually have to save it as an image and you go here and you import it. Now I'm starting to remember. And we don't use this one unless you're, and you set it as raw or PRG file, I remember now. You go in here and you save it. I say chicken, I'm just going to say chicken 2 or whatever. I already got chicken 2. Chicken animate. Chicken animate, and he gets saved under the C64 assembly sprites. Invalid file format. Well, for some reason it didn't let me save it. Maybe you have to leave it as the other one. PRG raw data. Oh wait, I'm opening. Oh, I'm importing. I'm doing the wrong one. I need to export. Hey, what's going on? This ain't working. Yeah, it will. So here we go. So this is where you want to load it to. And you have a special loader that will load it at whatever address you want to set. And I don't have it memorized to tell you what 8000 is, but there's a built-in calculator here, so I'm going to look at it real quick. You can go here and you just type in the hex value. So 32768 is where it would load the sprite into, which is exactly where we have it in memory. You could actually go in here and you could change it to something else if you just wanted to put whatever in it. So it's going to basically take this shape data and it's going to start writing it in 32768 in increments of 62 for each individual sprite. So we're looking at like, was that like 63 times 4 or something like this, so 252 different bytes. Anyway, let's get this going now. So now we got the sprites here. And just go up here. And they're called animate. And now it's going to have a giant animation file here. What you're supposed to be able to do is go in C64 Studio and load it. You see this at the bottom where he has cart PRG. This is the name of the file that we just saved. We would just go in here, we would just change this to like chicken animate. And you can load it into memory. I'm almost tempted to want to try it now. Learning as we're going here. I said I don't use this, but who knows? I probably won't be able to find it. So if it loads into where we had it though, it's going to race over the program because my program starts at 32768. So we usually have to specify where we want it to load. In this example, he set a certain area here. He just calls it code sprite. If you hold over here, it'll tell you where he loaded it in. So he loaded in the 4960, which I believe is the ROM. I think he had to move it to RAM or something. I saw him do that down here in the code somewhere. But anyway, this is where you would set the place of where you want to load the sprites in. He's got the character set loading in here, and that's from using the character pad and the sprites and everything. So I'm starting to understand it a little bit better, but I'm just curious if I could get it to load into my program. Let's see. I need set this area. He calls it called sprite. Yeah, that's what he did. Is he has it set to go into the ROM, and then he moves it to the RAM after that. So let me just see something here. The only thing is I don't know how he does it. We did it in BASIC, so I'm not familiar how he did it in C64 Studio. But somewhere in here, it's going to load it into RAM, and then we have to load it back into the memory, basically. It might be up here. I have no idea how he did it. Let's see. Character set. And here's where he's doing the character set. Load character set ROM to RAM. Copy screens to memory. Test screen ROM to RAM. Yeah, it would. But 32768 would override our program because that's where it starts. I'm just trying to check something in my book here real quick. So 90. $49.60. Oh no, you know what? Let's see. Or used by the basic ROM. Yeah, that's ROM, alright. So this, he loaded it into, if you were running BASIC, this is where it would be starting at. This is the start of your BASIC interpreter for C64. So he loads it into here, and somehow he's moving it back into memory. It's the same thing you do with the character set. When you're changing the character set, you have to move it from ROM to RAM. So, an example of, it is on the screen. An example, if I just run this again, when you saw these lines here, these are modified characters. I don't know if you caught that earlier. They're called redefined characters. You can actually go in and you can change them. And I'll show you what they originally look like before you change them. You might have saw me doing this earlier. You just set this to 21, and it'll set it to what's called the basic defaults for your character set. Let me just close this and run it. So right here, do you see how it looks now? So none of the characters right now are redefined. What we're doing is we're taking like this A and turning it into something. We're taking this and turning it into something and that and so on. And in order to do that, though, you have to take all these characters which are stored in ROM, which is read-only memory, if you know what that is. And you can't write to ROM. You can only write to RAM. So in order to do that with the Commodore 64, you actually have to end up creating a loop to move it over from that data that's stored in ROM to RAM where you can write against it. Does that make sense? Okay. Well, if I could just figure out how he did it. I mean, I have my own character set right here. I'll show you. Mine's down. It's up here somewhere. Right here. Initialize the character set. This is where I'm moving mine from memory here. And this is 048. I'll show you how that works. Let me know if I'm going too fast because I can get here. Can you hear me now? Okay, weird. Well, I probably just talked to myself. You didn't know what I was saying. What I was doing is showing you how to move the character set that I showed you earlier in that game when you saw me change the background characters. Did you hear me during that time? Okay, so we're taking all those characters that are stored in ROM and we're moving them into RAM. So it's taking the high and the low byte here of C set, which we know was in location 1024, which is the start of screen memory. And we're taking this data and we're moving it from 53248, which is the ROM, is where it's stored, and finding a safe place to locate it where we can use it in the computer's memory. And then, kind of make a long story short, after we move it, we have to set a specific pointer in the Commodore 64 to locate it. And you might have saw me playing with this location earlier. Let me just pull it back up here. Right here, 53272. This is actually where it finds it. So if I'm correct, I think you take the 21 times 64. 21 times 64. 1344. So I think 1344 is where it's going to start the character set, if I'm not mistaken. You know, I started in 12288. I think, let me see, what's 12288? Let's see, 0 plus 8 times 256. I'm just going to do some quick math here. Try to figure something out here. 12288. 288. I'm just trying to locate the closest I can find it with the high and the low bytes are for this. I don't know a shortcut for it yet. Maybe it's 32, I think. No, it's not 32. 40. 50 probably. Pretty close. Probably 51. Oh, it's stored in... so 50 is 2800. Oh, it's 48, isn't it? There it is. So 0 plus 48, or 0 comma 40. 0 plus 48 times 256 is equal 12288. So that's where the computer ended up storing it at. I set a pointer to make it reference when I was trying to figure out where I set the pointer. I think I did it somewhere down in the character set. Go back there real quick. Wait, what happened to this? Okay, so we're back down there. 0 plus 48. Right there it is. I did my math wrong. Wait. There it is the whole time. So 0 plus 48. Is that what I did earlier? I don't know what I did earlier. 0 plus 48. I got this wrong. This is actually... So, it's actually... I was trying to figure out why that screen memory was there. It didn't make sense to me, but anyways, I was off on my math there, so excuse me on that side. So 0 plus 48, which is the high and the low byte, and you multiply it by 256 is equal to 12288. Makes sense? So that's just telling you where we're going to end up at. And that's why if you wanted to change where you wanted to relocate it, you would just go in and you would change these numbers and it would move it to another area in memory. You have to use a memory area that is safe. If you go to a book here, I'm going to switch over to camera view for a minute to show you something here. Is 256 the color range for the screen? Okay, so I'm not sure what you just asked me. Is 256 the color range for the screen? Oh, where did I come up with the 256? Well, there's 256 bytes stored in memory. This is going to probably go over your head a little bit, but the computer keeps track of things in bytes. And I said I don't want to have to give a whole lesson on that, but if you go to BASIC, for example, and you use like a location here and you want to change the screen memory, 50 through 280, the second number is the byte of the screen. If you put like a 1 in there, it's going to change the screen color. And if you put 255, notice that I'm putting numbers in here. So if I try to go over 256, it'll say legal quantity error because you can't go more than 256 bytes in memory. And why is this? Because it only goes from 0 to 255. So that's how the computer's memory is. I don't know how to explain it to you from a machine language perspective, but I'll do some more brush up on that later. But that's the whole idea. To get the memory address, you have to multiply it by 256, since that's where it's going to locate where to find the high and the low bytes, so to speak. But anyway, what I wanted to show you was this really cool book. If you ever seen this book, and it's probably going to come backward for you. I realize everything reverses backward. Somebody told me it reverses backwards, but it's called Mapping the Commodore 64 and 64C. You can use it to find everything you need to know about your Commodore 64 from where memory is and everything. Oh, you haven't? Well, this memory location right here, this is actually, to kind of clarify it, this is actually, thanks for clarifying that for me, this is actually RAM. So you can write to this memory, while 53248 is RAM. You can't directly write your own programs in 53248. You can access the internal memory, like if you saw me do earlier in the Commodore 64. So if I type here, I can access it, but I just can't. I'll show you an example of ROM and RAM real quick here. So this is a byte stored in currently RAM. So it's actually called the 0. Trying to see what you wrote here. Oh, you can't see my screen. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Thanks for clarifying. Okay, let me switch over here. I'm like, okay. Go back to full screen here. Better? Okay, so sorry about that. I got a little bit offset. So what I was going to show you anyway is how ROM and RAM work in your computer. So RAM anyway is read-only memory, so you can write, you probably know what RAM is, hopefully. RAM you can write to, like if you save a file on your drive and your hard drive is stored in RAM, you can write to it directly. But ROM is like the internal components of your computer that you can't write to. It's hard to explain from a computer perspective. But there's certain bytes in memory that you can and can't write to. And that book I just showed you, why I had the camera up, that book will help you find where RAM and ROM is located and what locations you can and can't write to. And why that's important is because you can access internal bytes inside of your computer. Or you can write to them. Like, for example, all the BASIC right now is stored in RAM. You could actually overwrite BASIC. But anyways, I wanted to show you this. So if I go here and I just type in a number, 251,16, we go here and we do something called peek. We'll see 16 in there, right? But if you go to ROM, which I'm going to find the ROM location here. Actually, we had one up here, Studio, earlier. Let me just pull that back up. I think it was... So 4960, it should be ROM. So 4960. So let's kind of look. So if you peek a location, you can see what's in there. And you see there's a 148 right now. So if this, I'm pretty sure I can't write over this. Let's just try it. See if it writes over it or not. Yep. So you can't write over this because this is all stored in ROM right now. So these bytes are used like for maybe the keyboard operator, things that you shouldn't be able to write over. So that's the whole point of hopefully I didn't go too fast on it, but that's the whole reason why you have to move a character set from ROM, because you can't write to it, as you just saw me demonstrate there. You can't write to those bytes until you move them over. And what were the bytes again? I'm switching between two different programs. Let me just shut down this other one here so I don't have to keep switching between these two. And just leave this one up. But just talking with you makes me realize I realize now that there's other people that might not even understand the basics of stuff. You kind of brought that to my attention since you mentioned like your earlier question there about ROM and RAM and stuff like that. So I'll probably, if I go to explain it, I'll probably have to explain it from the very, very beginning. And that could be tedious, but anyways, I wanted to get back to this character set here. So 53248. These are bytes you can actually write to. I said you can't, but you can actually write to these since this is actually where the character set, where the sprite location on the screen. So if you see where the sprite is positioned on the screen, this is actually his X position. And then 53249 is his Y position. So I said I'm probably going to do a bad job explaining how this program works, so I'll probably do it in another demo or put it on my website later. But that's the whole initial point. I didn't write this code. I actually got this from a book I had many years ago, and it took me years to even really understand what was going on. I just used it just to change the character set, and it took me a long time to finally understand what it's actually doing. So everything in phases, you know. But anyway. I was trying to see if anybody else joined us. It looked like you're the only one. I guess nobody else has really joined up. I got like 4 people that responded, but all the other ones, they couldn't make it. So your question says you need to, or you mentioned about need to schedule the Hangouts. I'm not sure what you were asking me because I scheduled this one. I didn't understand what you meant, but anyway. Schedule them ahead of time. Pick a certain day and time every week or every month. So make it kind of a consistent period, is what you're saying. And I used to do that, but I just got started back in. That's a great suggestion. I appreciate it. And probably staying away from the Java programs would help too. I don't know if you saw my channel, but I was working on a full Java game and people didn't like the Java stuff. But it taught me a lot. So, I mean, if I go back in and I start writing games, I have a lot better handle on than what I've done in the past. Yeah, it takes time putting those videos up, so I appreciate that. Sometimes it's just like for example, those people who have who are YouTube partners, which I'm a YouTube partner, but I'm still not, I don't have a sponsor where I have to put a video up all the time. I don't know how those people can come up with stuff, but their sponsors actually are always like waiting for the next video. If you have a sponsor, if you get sponsored by YouTube, which takes a lot of views and all of that, then you have to be consistent. You have to keep, bringing the videos and constantly. My point is I'm making is, I'm not always like that. I don't always throw a video up every single day or whatever. I might throw up sometimes maybe not even one week and maybe do it the next week. So it's kind of hit or miss. But yeah, it has to be consistent to keep anybody's attention. That I do know. Oh, so let me not lose track of what we're going to do. I was going to see if we could move that character. Chicken animate here. I think I'll have to go back and save this because this got saved into a different area of memory. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to figure out where I can put this character. Because I currently have everything going on in here. I could probably squish him in here with the other sprites. Since I can go in and change it, I could probably set it to appear right where this enemy guy was going to appear, 2624. 2624, so A40. So 0A40. So let's try to do another here. It'll probably end up overwriting parts of the program is what it'll do. But let's try it again anyway. PRG, sprite. I'll just say creature. I don't know. Chicken sounds kind of funny. Somebody said it looked like a chicken. That's why you got the idea of chicken. I'm just going to call it creature. And this time, oh darn it, I forgot to change the numbers. So I need to go back here and change these numbers. Do you see what I'm doing? So we want to try to get it there, which is where our sprite memory is located, because this is actually reading in where the sprites are being loaded into memory. Let's see if we can load it right in there. It'll end up overwriting some other areas in 3000, 4000. Hopefully it doesn't create any problems. It should be good because if you look here at the top, 32768 starts way beyond where we're loading the sprites in. So it shouldn't be, even the 12288 won't interfere. So the whole idea is when you're writing certain stuff like character set sprites, you don't want them to run into your main memory. So you have to locate a special place aside from where your program is. I'll give you an example. I wrote an Atari game many years ago when I was a teenager. And because this program was so massive, which took me like a year to build this thing, by the time I got done building it and building all the screens, it became so massive, the program memory itself started overriding the screen data and the sprites in the program, which they were actually called player missile graphics. It was at the point that I didn't understand you had to reserve areas for them. Now, if I had done a better job of reserving where I put them, I probably could have gotten away with, finishing the game. But sadly enough, I wasn't able to finish it because it ran out of memory. But those were days when I really didn't understand a lot about, compressing code and just doing different things. You learn as you go along. Machine language is probably one of the biggest things you'll learn about machine language is really trying to write tidy code that fits into areas. It doesn't take up so much room. You kind of start learning, some of the tricks. I like to go online and I like to look up stuff and try to learn from other people and try to find more efficient way to do something. You know what I mean? But anyway, point aside here, we're going to put this sprite in here. So I changed the location, I changed the data, and we'll just overwrite this. So now it should be here, and then we should be able to load it. Let me see if it's saved here. Oh, you know what? I don't even know where I saved it. Oh, it's in that sprites folder, so I probably need to move it into my main project here is what I need to do. That was my fault. I should have changed the folder where I saved it earlier, but let's just save it one more time. It's going to take too much time to go looking for it. So let's just go back here and export it. And why I keep clicking on import, export. And what was it, 1A0? It was 1A0. 1A0, wasn't it? No. That's 60. Oh, I'm in the wrong field. Wait, is that right? 2560? No, 2624. There it is, A40. So 0, A40. And now we'll save it, and this time we'll try to move it to where my other program is so we don't have to kind of look for it. I think it's stored here. Let me see. Pine scroller. It's right here. So let's save it right there. I don't know why I keep capitalizing everything. So hopefully now it'll know where the hate is being at. And then we just go down here and change this feature. So what it should do is locate these sprites in memory. And hopefully we'll be able to display them if it works. If not, we might start to move them around the RAM. I don't know how that works. But you saw me, I saved them in the RAM. I didn't save them in the ROM. So he saved it in his example in the ROM. I don't know why he did that. Probably because he had a bunch of them. But anyway, whereas another thing about Studio is you can't stop the program. You always have to kind of look for it. I don't know if you get what I'm doing here, but these are two separate programs, C64 Studio and Vice C64 Emulator. But even though they're written by the same company, you have to activate by closing one to get in the other one. So you can't really close it from within this actual program, if that makes any sense. Is there another one running here? Oh, there it is. I closed the wrong one. So now the buttons show up again. So once the buttons show up, you do have Vice. Okay, so I won't need to explain that then. Okay, cool. Okay, so let's see if we can figure out where this sprite data went to. Let's see if we can get it to display. So what I'm doing here is I'm reading into memory where we saved it. Hopefully it'll appear on the screen if I can get it to show up. I don't see it anywhere. I set the locations for it right here. You might have saw me do that earlier here. Right here. This is setting it at 148, which is where the player is. I put it right on top of the player. Should move it over a little bit. Let's see. No, I did. I moved it over. So 53, 250, 52, 251. Enabled all sprites. Sprites color. Oh, I know what I did. I don't need this line because I'm overriding it. So if it's in memory somewhere, we should be able to see it. I don't see it anywhere. It would probably be somewhere over here if it appears. Any thoughts on that? Let me go back to it real quick. Where did I save it? 64 assembly. Line scroller. Line scroller. It's right here. This is where our program is, and this is where it is. Creature.prg. Yeah. See right there? And that's what I have here is creature.prg. I think it has something to do with the ROM, the RAM. Let me just pull up his program again and look at it again. No. It'll... Oh, you're saying you don't? Well, how would it know where it's storing it? It stores it in the project? I need to open his program again. Oh, you asked a question. I'm sorry. I looked away for a second. No, no, I don't think you don't need to. It figures out where it is in that folder, and it probably figures out where it is in the project. I just do that from force of habit. I'm an old programmer, so I used to do all the slash and all that stuff. Um, I'm trying to see how he did it. Because he also, oh, you know what? Because in this program, he doesn't have the sprite loading in. He was probably in the process of doing it, but you notice this one, I mean, we'll probably test it just to see if there's a, let's do that real quick and see if he's actually got them enabled in his program. I'm just curious. So bear with me a second. I'm going to sneak some code in here. Find the fastest way to do this. Color in the sprite. There was a sprite right there. First, I'm going to do that. Find a place where I can sneak this in at. Let's see if he even did it. See, all he's doing is just changing the border. Nope, he never put the sprite in there. I thought so. Now I need to go ahead and put those initializers in for the variables, which is probably right here. I think that's everything. Do you see what I'm doing? Okay, cool. So we have them set up now, the same code I replicated and put it in his program to see if it can locate and put a sprite in position. Because he has one down here at the bottom. Actually, you know what? This one's probably not even in his folder. Let me just double check that real quick. It might not be there. Need to name these better because I keep forgetting what's what. So C64 assembly game. Let's just see what PRGs he has in here, if any. He has quite a few of them. And he has this cart one, whatever this is. K-cart. Let's go look at that real quick and see what that is. Why aren't they showing up here? Oh, these are PRGs. Oh, so I would need the SPD files to be able to see it. Well, I thought I could see it in there. I don't know how else I could load it. It's already converted into a project file. So anyways, he's got one in here. So what we just have to do is take this comment out here and see if we can get it to load in his. Aha, there it is. That's a box. That doesn't, I don't think that would be it. It could be. Let's try one of his other ones. See if that works. It's a sprite. But I know he didn't do, he had one, there was an actual character, a game character. I'm trying to remember where he put it. I'm going to close some of this stuff. Maybe we could take ours and move it over there too. Let's just move ours over to his folder. I'm just going to do this real quick. Need to write it still somewhere. And it's still a freaking box. Trying to see which one it is. Looks like there's two of them here. $337. I think that's. Maybe it's not that one. Maybe it's the other one. 337. Still just a box. Capital C in the file name. Oh, it probably doesn't matter. It's probably, again, just my old habits of doing it that way. It's not really case sensitive. You can probably just have it like that and it still find it. We haven't got it to work yet though, so. Because it would be here, otherwise you would see it here. Well, at least he's got his initialized. Now I want to go back to mine for a second to see if I could get the box. There it is. You see it? It's loading as a freaking box. So let's do a test here real quick. Let's go back to the code here and change this and see if we can, if we're changing the right sprite, which I'm curious. If we're changing the wrong sprite. Oh, I know what it is. I think I keep, there's stuff that because I'm trying to add a sprite, there's things that you still need to do. You need to initialize the sprite. And sprite is stored in certain areas in memory. And it has a special location, it's called 2041, which is called the sprite shape data, which is going to tell your computer where in memory you're going to find that sprite shape. And I'm just cheating and looking in my book here, Rogan. So 2048, this will be 2041, which, where is it? Let me just look back here real quick. It's the SPRPT. Right here. So +1 to get the next location. If you see me over here, it's 2040, so it's accessed in 2041. Write me the name of that book again when you get a minute. Oh, okay, sure. So anyways, let's run this. Well, we replicated our player. So now we need to, because we're occupying the same place where our player was, it gives a duplicate player. But that's not where our other guy is stored at. He's stored somewhere else, so I'd have to go through this. Oh, we're actually getting a storm out here. Weird. We get monsoons in Arizona. I don't know what kind of storms you get there, but we get these really weird storms. They're massive storms that come through and they wipe everything out. Well, not everything, but they can be pretty bad sometimes. And they're very rare. I mean, they might hit like once every 2 years. But when they come, they're heavy. It's just like a giant downpour. Kind of like, you ever been to Florida? Florida has these nasty storms that spill on you. Tornadoes? Yeah. You're bringing back some memories now for me. So anyways, what we're going to do is we're going to locate this sprite shape and we're going to change I already occupied a few myself. So let's see if I can go back here and download that map again. Oh, I need to run the program. Computer's running slow again. It's already open. So what I'm doing is I'm using this location right here. Type 2040. That's where the sprite shape data is stored at. And this 2040 here, this is sprite equals sprite shape data for player 1. Let's say that way. That's our main game player. And 2041 is for sprite 1, which would be our creature. 2042 sprite 2. You follow? 2043 sprite 3. That's basically all you're doing is you're locating where that sprite's going to be loaded into memory. So what I'm trying to figure out is where I can find this other guy at. Let me see here. 33 times 64 2112, because there's 64 bytes in a sprite. So this is going to tell me where I need to find it. So we're looking for 2560, is it? No, 2624. So let me just write that down here. Here's 2624. And see if I can locate where it might be. If your math's better than mine, you can probably find it faster. I'm just going to do it step by step because I'm not very good with this stuff. But somebody else could come in here and say, oh, you just need to multiply this by 2 or whatever. Like, okay, whatever. So you could probably do this though. Let me see if I can do it. I have to set it in a special loop, 64. What did I say? There were 64 bytes, and we're trying to get to like the second one, like times 2 or something like that. I don't know what I did wrong. Anyway, so 40 times 64. There it is. Look at that, the first guess. 20. No, it's 2560. So it's probably farther out than that. Not too far. So it'll take me a while to find it. It's probably 39. 2596. What am I looking for? 2624. Did I use 40? I used 42. 36, 41. Ah, 41. So we need to change this to 41. Down in our main program. Where is he at again? Right here. So did that make sense? Okay, cool. So hopefully we can locate where he is, and I got an error now. Ah, look at that. We got something in there. Oh, well, it just basically loaded in my main game data guy. So now let's see if we can turn this off and try to access that creature. Let me think, what am I doing here for a minute? I want to turn off the shape data, so we just need to turn off up here. Right here. See if it can get something else loading. If not, he's probably stored in ROM if we get a box. Yeah, he's probably stored in... I probably have to move him from ROM to RAM. Otherwise, he would have appeared right there. Because I don't think there's anywhere else. I could probably do a real quick test here or something. Bear with me a second. I'm going to create a program here real quick or something to try to cycle through... I could just stick it in the joystick routine, actually, to cycle through the program. See, this is the right joystick routine, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to make it cycle through that sprite data. So we'll just call it sprite data or something like that. SPR data is good. And then we're going to store it in, what was it, SPRPT +1. And we're going to increment SPR data. And all we're doing is we're creating a variable that we can use to cycle through memory. I'll just stick it down here somewhere. It doesn't matter where I stick it. Test. Actually, we're started at. I just started at 33, I guess. Oh, we got an error. What I got going on here? Okay, let's see if this works. So as I move it right, it should keep. It's not. I was trying to make it cycle through all the different shapes. Something went wrong. There seems to be a problem with this program. Every time I'm trying to change the pointers, it doesn't seem to want to work for some reason. Load it through it, goes to the right routine, increment sprite data. Yeah, I don't know if I have to set this or not. I'm going to go up here and set it. I'm going to initialize it real quick. Where did we stick it at? PT. Yeah. When I'm wanting to remove code, I'll usually do something like tests like that. It's a good idea. You can come back and wherever you see tests, you can remove that section so you don't leave it in your program and leave garbage there. So I'm storing 33 in that SPR data because I don't know if the byte is always going to work or not. And it still didn't work. Let's see if I go right. Oh, I'm pressing the wrong way. So yeah, it's still not changing it. I have another quick idea I could do here. PNT. I turned this one off. I'm going to turn this one back on. PNT. We're just going to use PNT instead. Hopefully I don't lose you here. I'm going to switch over and I'm going to use the variable PNT. Oops. And let's see, SPR data, PNT, and see if that'll work. Redefinition. Oh, I had it down here. It should be changing the shape, but it's not. Any suggestions? I'm probably asking for a lot, huh? So, sprite data, PNT. What if I forgot to initialize it? So what I'm trying to do is this right here, INC is stands for increment. This is going to increment PNT. Where's the equal sign? Equals PNT plus 1. So we stored 33 in the PNT. Then if you increment it, it would be, of course, 34. And then we go 35, 36, 37, and so on. Not that I can think of. I'm not sure the other people's code is 100%. Which other people are you talking about? He's following his brother. Well, I'm not sure what you're asking me. I'm sorry. What were you asking me? Didn't you take some code from other people? Are you talking about from this other program right here? This wasn't my program. This was the one that I wrote with that guy last year. And all I'm doing is I'm just trying to, what I was doing here earlier is I was copying in some of the sprite data into his program so we could get the sprite to appear. You can swap code backward and forward. And all I'm trying to do is get the sprite to load. I'm just, what you saw me copy earlier, is just a faster way of getting code into a program instead of, see if you wrote, oh, wrong or right. No, I mean, oh, you're talking about, yeah, the sprite. Like I said, this is something I've not done. This is all testing. So this is beta testing. This is all brand new. It's not like I planned this tonight. I was just originally gonna just add things to the program, but what we're trying to do is kind of trial and error. It's called. And I know how sprites work. I know how they load and everything. I could get. You saw me earlier when you saw that guy appear in the program. That was my own code down here at the bottom. When you saw that really weird man appear earlier. Right here, enemy. This is just data I created for an enemy, but we're trying to get it to overwrite this one so we can see if the sprite pad will, or yeah, sprite pad will work. So anytime we want to get that one back, we could easily get that one to load back here just by changing the lines, but that's not what our goal and our mission was. But where is that data at again? So if I just turn these back on, this will show my character in the program again. Right there. That guy right there. And it turns into that one because it's overriding the sprite data for our new program. But yeah, I'll probably have to play with it for a while. I don't know why it's not loading. I still think it has something to do with the ROM, the RAM. And all I was just trying to do is make it cycle through so we could see the different sprite shape. But I can't seem to get this increment to work. This is supposed to take memory, what's in memory location 820, and move it into here and allow us to change the sprite shape data. And this operates by moving the joystick here into the right position here. So if you press the joystick right, which you might have heard me doing that, it's supposed to change the sprite shape data. Now if I change this to the other one, I'm curious if that would change our player. But I saw it change there for a second. I do think immediate value of PNT, maybe I have to do immediate value. I don't think that should work. We restored it in 820. Yeah, that's not going to work. It's supposed to cycle through what's in memory location 820. But it's not for some reason. If I can get this work, I can get the animation working for this game too. Because this was something I was been working on, is trying to get the sprite shape data to work. But I haven't got it working yet. So you're kind of seeing the overview of what I'm doing. So I think there was another way I could do this. So you load what's in 820, store it in the second player. I think I did that earlier. Yeah, it changes it for a second. See when I hit it? Watch. If I press right it'll change it for a second. It just won't let me increment through that variable for some reason. I don't know why it does that. It's supposed to let you continuously increment through this variable, but it's not. It's almost like the write is reinitializing the pointer. Let me see, is this code? See, this was my original animation for the sprite shape data. I couldn't get it to work. Let's see, is it jumping? It's jumping right into this code, so I probably need to skip out of this. Let me see something here. This stands for jump. This makes it jump over this section. We don't want it to go right into, looking at the wrong joystick. It's actually this one, jump, skippy. Yeah, that's right. So it'll jump. It should jump right over the program itself. Jumps us off to and skips over the right routine. So it might have just been resetting it because of that. There it goes. Did you see it? There it is. So that's the sprite shape data that it's moving through. We can control it and make it look at it a little bit more slowly. You're looking at memory locations. When you saw me do that earlier where I multiplied it by 64, there. Okay, let's try to get to go a little slower here. There's the first one. There's the second one. There's another sprite shape. So that's how I could kind of see what's in memory. I probably have to slow it down. It's kind of hard to see it. How would I do that? Let me see. Do I have my delay routine in here? And if I play with it hard enough, I'd get it to work. So my delay is my pause in here. You can do something in Simulanguage, which is called slowing down your program. So I'm going to jump back over to my website real quick and grab that code. I only know this because I wrote this program before. So there's a pause routine in here. And I should be able to locate. I just had it right there. So this routine right here, you're just going to copy the line numbers. I'll just have to erase the line numbers. Will allow us to set up a pause in our program to hopefully slow this thing down. Just find a place to store it. I'll just store it at the end, I guess. And we're going to use this code. I need to see it's going to throw the line numbers and not to erase the line numbers. Not Windows friendly. You have to kind of do everything as, oops, I do that right? You'll see what I'm going to do here in a minute. And since I'm a neat freak, I'm going to move this over so this looks normal. It's always good to keep your code organized. I'm so glad we did this because now I can get that other sprite data pointer working for the other game character. So anyways, we got our pause in there. Now we're just going to hopefully jump to this routine and slow this thing down a little bit. It doesn't crash the interrupt. We'll see. We'll see if it slows it down. It's still going a little bit faster. Apparently it didn't slow it down at all. Why not? I never get used to that. Like when you hit find, it doesn't go immediately to the find window. You always have to pull it back up. Just one of my gripes about it. Okay, so this is the delay. So if we change this, it's going to slow down the program more and more. Let me slow down that pause routine. It's going a little bit slower. See how the game slowed down? That's what that delay is doing. It's slowing down. It's repeating cycles inside of a loop to slow it down. It's just like a for loop. But we're just doing that just for this purposes only. We can see our sprite shape data. It doesn't look like it's slowing it down much, does it? Should be a lot slower than that. It's just like when you hold it over, that's when it slows it down. So anyways, let's see if we can get that other data to show up now. I can't remember. Have you ever developed in a Simi language before? I can't remember if you said if you did or didn't. Oh, didn't notice you weren't there. Probably had to go. It's not there anywhere. It's not there. Well, I guess we could call it a night if you don't come back, I guess. Let me see if you sent any messages to me. So I'm going to end this in 5 minutes. I was talking to myself. So we got the enemy off. We loaded the sprite data in. We loaded it into. What else to do? Anything else in the program is overriding it. How did this one work, but this one doesn't work? What happened now? For some reason it's changing that one, but not this one. Okay, 2 minutes out to go. Really weird. Why is it not changing it? Probably this thing. I'm gonna change the player now. Oh, the night. There it goes. Got them both doing it now. Awesome, finally. So it was that routine. Well, that's it for tonight. Thanks for watching, guys. Try to get more consistent with these videos. Hopefully get a bigger audience going forward. Thanks, Matt. I really appreciated your presence here tonight, and hopefully we'll be able to connect soon and talk live. Like to hear. I'm gonna go check out your site and see what you have going on with your stuff too, and check out the Math into Common 64 book. And yeah, have a good night. Thanks, everyone. I don't know how you can save all the chats. So you can save the whole thing here. Kind of cool.